I'm not a lawyer, but Sean Kingston and his mom were found guilty on all the counts in their federal fraud trial. And if you're trying to remember what they were even on trial for, don't worry, I got you. Now, before I get into the details, this was a federal trial, which means there were no cameras. But according to reports, the jury deliberated for 3.5 hours. And after the guilty verdicts, Sean Kingston was ordered to house arrest until sentencing, while his 61-year-old mother was taken into custody. So I did a recap on this when the indictment first came out. And if the algorithm didn't serve that to you, here you go.
Sean Kingston and his mom got indicted for wire fraud today, and I read through the federal indictment, so let me tell you what's being alleged. And just so we're clear, wire fraud is when you knowingly and intentionally defraud or trick someone into giving you money or property, and you do so under false promises that involve wire communication. And by wire communication, think telephone, text message, internet, that all can get you caught up. So the feds say that Sean Kingston would reach out to vendors using direct messaging on Instagram and other social media platforms to buy vehicles, jewelry, and other goods and services. Once those vendors and Sean Kingston would agree upon the terms of the purchase, he and his mom would move the conversation to text message to confirm the timing of the delivery, the installation, payment, all that kind of stuff. At that point, Sean Kingston would use his celebrity status to persuade the vendors and convince them to deliver these goods or services before he actually paid them. From there, Kingston and his mom would send fake receipts via text messages, making it look like they had transferred or initiated a transfer, when in actuality, they never did. At that point, Kingston and his mom would either discontinue communication with the vendors or claim that additional payments were on the way, and again, never actually sending anything. So there's a chart that really details Sean Kingston and his mom committed this actual wire fraud. The first is on May 15, 2023. Text messages sent with a fake bank wire transfer receipt claiming that they transferred $53,000 over to whoever this vendor was for the purchase of a vehicle. 5 months later, October 24th, 2003, a text message is sent including a fake wire transfer receipt in the amount of $285,000 for the purchase of a watch. November 21st, 2023, a text is sent for over $159,000 for the purchase of another vehicle. January 15, 2024, a text is sent containing a fake wire transfer receipt in the amount of $40,000 for the purchase of some AV electronic equipment. And then the final text is sent on March 14th, 2024, with a fake wire transfer receipt in the amount of $480,000 for the purchase of 2 watches.
And again, these receipts that they're sending are actually fake because they never really sent any money to anybody, even though they had received these cars and watches and jewelry and all of that.
If convicted, Sean Kingston and his mom each face up to 20 years in prison on each count. Word to the wise, don't with the feds.